Bulacan State University or BULSU is a premier state-operated institution of higher learning in the Central Luzon region. It originated as a secondary school run by the Americans in 1904 and has now progressed into one of the biggest educational institutions in Region 3. BULSU was converted from a college into a university in 1993 by the virtue of Republic Act 7665. Since then, BULSU has grown by leaps and bounds in terms of program offerings, faculty qualification, and student enrollment. It is the vision of the university to be a knowledge-generating institution globally recognized for excellent instruction, pioneering research, and responsive community engagement. The mission of Bulacan State University is to produce highly competent, ethical, and service-oriented professionals that contribute to the sustainable socio-economic growth and development of the nation. The first and only College of Law in Bulacan was established in year 2002 by the GAT Marcelo H. Del Pilar Law Foundation under the name Marcelo H. Del Pilar Foundation School of Law. The creation of this independent educational institution was made possible through the initiative and wisdom of esteemed Bulacan lawyers, including retired Court of Appeals Justice Jose C. de la Rama, who served as its first dean. The building was built within the premises of Bulacan State University through the Priority Development Assistance Fund of then-Senator Alfredo Lim. In 2009, Bulacan State University officially incorporated it within its system, and since then, it has become one of its colleges under the name Bulacan State University College of Law. Laws are not merely rules of conduct but pillars of a civilized and united society. The Constitution provides that the state shall promote a just and dynamic social order that will ensure the prosperity and independence of the nation and free the people from poverty through policies that provide adequate social services, promote full employment, a rising standard of living, and an improved quality of life for all. In fulfillment of its contribution towards nation building and in consonance with the mandates provided by the law, the Bulacan State University College of Law has continued to grow and to develop its academic pillars that cater the needs of our changing society. Under the leadership of Dean Nanita de la Cruz Tuazon and the support of Dr. Cecilia N. Gascon, BULSU College of Law incorporated the Clinical Legal Education or CLED as a subject in its curriculum. CLED aims to instill the learning by doing philosophy to third-year law students so that they can experience the application of substantive and procedural laws in actual and real-life cases. The objectives of the clinical legal education are as follows. First is to develop critical thinking in students. Second is to learn how the different laws interact in their actual application. Third is to develop skills in being proactive. And lastly is to promote the pro bono culture among students. Soon thereafter, the Legal Aid Center was opened with Attorney Bobby Cruz as its director. The Legal Aid Center is composed of the following. First is the Dean of the College of Law, who serves as the approving authority of all projects and engagements of Legal Aid Center. Second is the Legal Aid Director, who is also the professor of the CLEP class and advisor of all law interns and their teams. Third, there are 5 supervising lawyers who supervise and guide law students in formulating legal advice and case theories for respective clients. Fourth is we have law interns who are third-year law students currently enrolled in the CLEP subjects. Fifth is we have law intern volunteers who are fourth-year students who are assigned court cases. And lastly, we have Dean's office staff who gives its utmost support in matters concerning logistics and documentation for the projects of the Legal Aid Clinic. The clinical legal education in the law curriculum is composed of the following. First is the 2 subjects of 2 units each, which is the CLED 1 and CLED 2, taken in 1 semester simultaneously, either in the first or second semester. In CLED, the class is divided into groups of 4 or 5, which will work as a team with 1 supervising lawyer. Each group will handle legal inquiries, both in criminal and civil cases, under the guidance of supervising lawyers and the CLED professor. In CLED, law students, through their teams, conduct brainstorming of legal issues, formulate case theories, and present their output in a case conference before the CLED professor, where other students also give input when needed. CLED also includes activities dedicated for community service. It has 2 classifications, traditional legal aid and developmental legal aid. What is the difference between the 2? The traditional legal aid constitutes the regular clinic duties such as providing manpower and intern assistance in the Legal Aid Center and the IDP Bulacan Office of Legal Aid, where a client would consult on legal problems. It also includes drafting of pleadings for preliminary investigation, civil cases, labor cases, and the like, case conferences, and court appearances for fourth-year volunteer law interns, and giving legal advice and legal counseling. The developmental legal aid, on the other hand, involves activities aimed to provide social legal awareness to various sectors of the community. These activities include conducting legal missions, assisting jail decongestion and jail visits, providing lectures about relevant laws and procedures to stakeholders, and participating in seminars, conventions, and summits. The Bunzu College of Law also has internship and externship programs not under CLEP, wherein law students are deployed to partner offices, whether government or private, such as law offices, courts, quasi-judicial bodies, including the Housing and Land Use Regulatory Board, Philippine Overseas Employment Administration, and the Commission on Human Rights. The process of availing free legal services in Legal Aid Center are as follows. First is assessment. In this step, the client shall initially assess if he or she is qualified to avail of the services of the Legal Aid Center after being informed of the qualifications. Second is the preparation of requirements. The applicant shall submit a certificate of indigency from Barangay and DSWD. This qualification from the Public Attorney's Office, which certifies that PAO cannot represent the applicant due to valid reasons such as conflict of interest, and other relevant documents. Third is visiting the legal aid clinic and submission of requirements. The Legal Aid Center office is located at the ground floor of Bulsu College of Law building. Fourth is the filling up the request for legal assistance. Here, the client while in the Legal Aid Center office shall fill up an application form and shall undergo interview to determine whether he or she is indeed qualified to be assisted by the Legal Aid Center. And last is tracking. After approval of the application, regular follow-up of cases is necessary to stay updated regarding the status and progress of the case, which is done by the client and the assigned team. Further, to avail the services of the Legal Aid Clinic, be minded that the client must comply to the following requirements and qualifications. First is the means test, where the current threshold of personal income is 12,000 pesos or below per month. This requirement is to assure that the Legal Aid Center will be dedicated to help the indigent and deserving clients or those who have lesser in life and cannot afford the services of a private counsel. Second is the merit test, where the cost of the client's case will be assessed accordingly by the Legal Aid Center team. This is to uphold the objective of the Legal Aid Center to become an instrument of a rightful cause by defending meritorious cases and not those which are sham, deceptive, or merely baseless. Third is the pedagogical value requirement. In this qualification, the nature and status of the case and the holistic circumstances of relevant factors affecting the client are likewise assessed to determine its possible contributions in the intellectual and professional development of law students. This is in line with the core value that CLEP is not only a legal assistance program dedicated for the client, but also an avenue of learning for law interns. The Legal Aid Center has already conducted numbers of activities to fulfill its mandate and mission. Some of its projects are as follows. Legal Aid Center conducted a lecture and open forum on labor laws in Pulilan, Bulacan, where labor standards and relevant labor legislations were discussed. They also conducted quarterly legal aid bonanza and jail visit at the Valenzuela City Jail in cooperation with the Office of the Executive Judge, the IBP Bulacan, and the Office of Senator Win Gatchalian. They conducted lectures and symposia about the rights of senior citizens and the impact of tax reform acceleration and inclusion law with the community members of Lingkod ng Panginoon Charismatic Community based in Malolos, Bulacan. They held a capacity building seminar for migrant workers, which is a joint project with the International Pro Bono Alliance. They sent law interns to assist and to coordinate in meetings with the Integrated Bar of the Philippines, Bulacan chapter, on duty schedules for legal assistance to indigent clients. They participated in jail visitation and consultation programs in BJMP Baliwag, Bulacan, in coordination with the Humanitarian Legal Assistance Foundation. They also conducted jail visitation and consultation in BJMP Marilao, Bulacan, in cooperation with Vitarich Corporation. Legal Aid Center also conducted a lecture on the rules for continuous trial of criminal cases with the Honorable Judge Jing Oyenko Nolasco as a speaker. In partnership with the Municipality of Norzagaray, Bulacan, Sagip Sierra Madre Environmental Society, International Pro Bono Alliance, Bulso College of Law Legal Aid Center, and with the help of local Civil Registrar of Norzagaray, Bulacan, Bata, Bata, Paano Ka Tinala aims to help our Dumagat children to have a proper registration in order to acquire necessary documents, particularly birth certificates. An advocacy seminar named Ang Vote sa Imo aims to promote voters' awareness in election rules and voters' rights in relation to the upcoming barangay and SK elections. Legal Aid Center also participated the creation of a Central Zone Regional Network of legal aid providers together with the Commission on Human Rights and the Ateneo Human Rights Center. Moreover, here is a tripartite Memorandum of Agreement signing among POEA, IPBA, and DSU College of Law Legal Aid Center for the deployment of law interns. The Legal Aid Center also spearheaded the Martial Law Forum last October 11, 2017 inside the Bulacan State University. They sent law interns to appear and to represent clients in court under the guidance of supervising lawyers. Bulso College of Law Legal Aid Center, inspired with its mission and vision, continues to exert its best effort to cope up despite the challenging situations brought by the global health concern of the COVID-19 pandemic. Notwithstanding these hurdles, it spearheaded a free legal online consultation program where the public can ask their legal queries in the official Facebook page of the Legal Aid Center. Assigned law students and interns formulate a legal advice, and once approved by the supervising lawyer, this response will be sent through Messenger. The Legal Aid Center also provides court representation in online hearings to qualified and indigent clients. To continue its initiative of providing basic legal education for persons deprived of liberty, Legal Aid Center conducted online jail visitations and paralegal trainings, again in coordination with the Humanitarian Legal Assistance Foundation. We are grateful to have the following partner organizations: the Integrated Bar of the Philippines Bulacan Chapter, International Pro Bono Alliance, Street Law PH, Humanitarian Legal Assistance Foundation, Commission on Human Rights, and the Asia Foundation. The current challenges faced by the Legal Aid Center are as follows. The office space is too small and not conducive to handle more than one client for case consultations. It is also not compliant with the Data Privacy Act due to its small floor space, and its location is not ideally accessible to the public. Most of the third-year students who are currently enrolled in CLEP have not yet taken the Rules on Evidence as a law subject. As such, Their knowledge and evidence is limited to fundamental principles and general concepts which limit their skills in drafting pleadings. As a stopgap measure, the CLEP professor would conduct lectures about evidence at the beginning of the semester. However, this is still limited. The fourth-year law students who can appear for and in behalf of a legal aid client in court are serving only on a voluntary basis. For this reason, shortage of manpower is a problem in terms of court appearances and representation. Fast turnover of cases to next batch of students or law interns is also a concern. Finally, there is also a problem in terms of funding. Since Legal Aid Center is operating within a state university and does not have a separate corporate entity, it cannot receive donations on its own, and it mainly depends its budget allocation from the Office of the Dean, which is limited in itself. The study of law is neither limited within the corners of a classroom, nor does it end when an aspirant finally became a lawyer. The love for law is both a novel profession and a continuing responsibility. Laws are living precepts which are inseparable to the everyday life of individual, regardless of status, sex, or creed. Through bridging the gap of unnecessary intimidation which separates the law from the people, and bringing the same closer to the community, we can definitely achieve a better world where everyone can live a more fulfilled and a happier life within the bounds and protection of laws, justice, and freedom. Not all of us can do great things, but we can do small things with great love.